Welcome back, everyone, to the Complete Fine Leaf. I am back here with Covadel right after I saved Rogrim from being possessed.
You saved Rogreen from himself? I am so glad.
And your story confirms to me something that I had suspected. Sauron instructed his servants to build him a kingly castle, a stronghold on a hill that was called Amandur. Over the long passage of years, his servants expanded the castle to cover all of the hill, and it grew with the new construction until it towered above the air. It became Barad-dûr, the Dark Tower, and reached so high that only Sauron's magic could keep it aloft. But the tower did not only reach skyward. Beneath Barad-dûr the orcs delved fathomless dungeons for their master, until the arid Lethui were riddled with pits and chasms. When the tower fell, the land gave way and a great abyss opened where Barad-dûr once stood. Sauron's dungeons were exposed to the sky, the abyss of Mordoth. Knowledge can be frightening. Anyway, Sauron may be gone, but he dwelt at Barad-dûr for so long that the land has not forgotten him. It sounds to me as if he left his impression on the abyss and the lands around it. You should find Mithrandir and tell him this, and I think it's time that I return to the House of Lore. I'm not afraid of danger, in moderation, but this is more than moderately terrifying. Yay, she's finally coming to her senses. Before I head to Mithrandir, I think it's time to get some of that obsidian that I'm looking for, such as this. We'll see how much obsidian we can get. And fortunately, in this game, you don't need a diamond pickaxe to mine up. This is on the other side. How am I going to get across that? Oh, there's a bridge. It looks like it could be a bridge. We'll see if that's a bridge. It's a bridge over troubled lava or something like that. Now let's see if I can figure out a way across. Ah! This looks like it's not as promising as I thought. It's a broken promise. Actually, that might cross it. Well, I'll find a bridge somewhere. I haven't found a good place yet, but I did find an orc. I think I'm supposed to be. Am I still supposed to be killing? Oh, actually, no. It looks like I killed enough orcs on the racial deed a long time ago. It's just the cultists I still have to worry about on that matter. But defeat orcs in Dora Marth. Well, that shouldn't be too difficult to do. This place is probably riddled with that. And we've got tents to destroy. Oh, yippee. If there's a bridge across there, I couldn't find it, so I've come all the way back to the road, using the bridge to the road, then going down. Well, that'll take a while. And then maybe I could get all those pieces of obsidian. Yay! I didn't find the piece of obsidian that I was looking for, but I at least found some, so my search was not in vain. Even though I am way off course for what I originally was planning, and I think I see one or two more pieces down this way. So I'll give up where I was originally going to be looking and get some over here, though. This place is just riddled with these nasty drakes and worms and all sorts of stuff like that. I'm still a little short on the obsidian. And I finally found one of these banner poles that they're talking about. Oh, good grief. I'm going to have to collect 8 of those? Ah! And of course, I missed one. There was little room for error, and I had to come all the way back down here near Barad-dûr in order to get this last one. But finally, I have the last one. I think I am going to head over to Mithrandir. Forget about this for a moment before I head back to the stout axes. Other Mithrandir, we had a little bit of problem near Barad-dûr with Rogreen.
Something has happened. A messenger has come.
The tidings you bring of Barad-dûr do not surprise me, but they'll need to await proper consideration. Something's happened. A messenger has come. Oh?
He wishes to speak to the King of Gondor. I do not think that is wise.
Yes, he's come to the Black Gate under a flag of peace, and he desires to speak with the king. I ask that you speak with this emissary on Argonauts' behalf, Aragorn's behalf, Pinebeard. Remember that he is not to be harmed, and it would be imprudent to be rude. But learn what he wants, and then present his request to Aragorn. So to speak with this person here, Yadifall. Well, they're certainly keeping him at spear point distance. Hello there, sir.
I bring a message from Dulgabeth, the Black Word of Mordor and heir of Sauron.
Yes, I was commanded to bring my message directly to the King of Gondor. I will not return with my task uncompleted. The message is this. Dulgabeth, once mouth of Sauron and now Sauron's heir, requests an audience with the king or steward of Gondor. I am to bring him to the bones of Barad-dûr, where Dulgabeth will meet with him and propose terms of peace. Deliver him this message, and I will bring him to Dulgabeth. Yeah. Let's see what Aragorn has to say about that. I'm not exactly sure Aragorn's going to be in the mood to consider this, but who knows? Elder sir, I have a message from Dulgabeth.
I do not trust this emissary or Dulgabeth, his master.
Yes, I don't trust him, but I do wish to hear the terms that he would propose. I suspect they will be no more acceptable than the last, though these come not from Sauron, but from a servant made bold by the absence of his former lord. I can trust only you with this responsibility, Pinebeard. Will you treat with Dulgabeth on my behalf? Tell the emissary you speak with my voice and my authority. All right. I shall do so. Somehow singing a dwarf to... especially a dwarf that hails from Mordor. Aragorn must not know that.
You speak with the king's voice? You then I will bring.
Is this king of Gondor so cowardly that he dares not stand before Dulgabeth in all his majesty? He sends others where he is too frightened to go? This doesn't surprise me. You then I will bring. We'll go to Barad-dûr, where my master waits. Very well, let's go.
Remain on your guard, my friend. You speak with my voice, and should be free of harm. But this embassy will not be without danger.
I'm sure it wouldn't be. Well, especially considering if Dulgabeth recognized... What are the odds that Dulgabeth would I mean, the Stout Axes don't recognize me. Why should Dulgabeth recognize me? Follow me, emissary of Gondor. You have a messenger's protection. For now. But if you stray too far, it will go badly for you. Did you think this tower was gone? Well, it was sort of my hope. Much of it fell when the Dark Lord was betrayed. but its bones still stand. Too bad. Who but my master has the most right to Barad-dûr's secrets? No idea. Behold Dulgabeth, the Black Word, Sauron's heir and Lord of Mordor. Oh, how wonderful. We meet again, King of Gondor. Oh, what is this? Who art thou? I care not for thy name or thy titles. Thou art not the King of Gondor. Thou art half his size, and no taller than the smallest of the bone piles upon which Barad-dûr stands. But I sought the king, not thou. Had Yedithful failed in the simple duty? Or has the king proven craven? Thou art the mouth of Gondor, I see. The king fears to approach me, and sends his servant instead. Thou claimest to speak with his voice? Bah! I hear the cowardice in it. All right, well, what are your terms? Listen then, mouth of Gondor, to my offer of peace. Lord Sauron ruled throughout this dominion and sought conquest of all. The designs of Sauron's heir are not so wide. I desire only Mordor. I will rule Mordor as sovereign. The king of Gondor will recognize my rule of this land. In all things save ordering of Mordor, I will be subservient to the wishes of thy king. This offer has a price, a small cost for thy king's gain. There are one or two small matters that must be resolved. The king of Gondor must help me put down these challenges to my rule. Others of the Girzil are active in Mordor and must be slain. They cannot retain the artifacts and sorceries they stole from the Dark Lord. There is, of course, another matter. The one who calls himself the captain of the pit, Ugrahor, has dispatched forces to Cirith Ungol. This tower is near to Gondor, and Ugrahor poses a threat to thy kingdom. I want Gondor to destroy this detachment, and Ugrahor who commands it. If Gondor aids me in these matters, I will gladly rule Mordor in thy king's name. Let there be peace between thy kingdom and mine. Yeah, like Aragorn's going to accept this. I have given thee my offer, mouth of Gondor. Now it is thy duty to present it to the king. May he accept it with haste. He would be a fool to do otherwise. Yeah, more likely he'll be a fool to do so. Well, let's get out of here. In short, he says that if you kill all his rivals, then he will stay in Mordor and leave you to rule Gondor.
What did the mouth of Sauron propose this time?
Aha! You would not think that he was on the losing side of the conflict with these terms, would you, Beer? His master lost the war, and all we have to do is wrap up Sauron's land with a festive bow and gift it to his former servant? Actually, there's more than that. The mouth also wants us to help him to put down the several challenges to his rule. Have anyone's sovereignty with less effort than this, Pine Beer? I reject the terms, as you know. I would not elevate any of Sauron's servants, whether they swear allegiance to my rule or not. Dulgabeth and the others like him were evil under Sauron, and they are evil now. Tell the emissary I'm not interested in this offer, and return to me when he's gone. Well, I take it then that the answer is no. An emphatic no. Quite an emphatic no. Aragorn has decided to reject your offer.
So the King of Gondor is not only a coward, he is a fool as well.
He has placed his own seal on the order of his death. It is no matter to me. Dulgabeth will remember this when he has conquered all of Mordor and comes to Gondor to finish what Sauron had begun. Oh boy. Well, I don't think he took that all that well. In fact, I have a feeling that he's not too happy with it. He says that he'll see you again when he tries to conquer Gondor.
Dulgabeth has given us a weapon to use against him.
That offer of peace may have been unacceptable, but Dulgabeth revealed the matters about which he's concerned, and by doing so, he's given us a valuable weapon to use against him. The weapon is information, Pinebeer. Information.
I believe you learned 2 useful pieces of information from Dulgabeth.
The first piece of information is the forces of Mordor are not unified, and they might be turned against one another. Indeed, they may have already be doing so on their own, without our assistance. He seems most concerned about his rival, who sent forces to reinforce Cirith Ungol. This rival is the one he called Ugrkor, the captain of the pit, and I have heard tell of him before. He's cruel and without mercy, and it was he who promised the Thandrim of Durthan peace and gave them slaughter instead. The second piece of information Dulgabeth unwittingly gave to us might not be as immediately useful, but still, I will want to learn what it signifies. He spoke of the Gurzil, and the name makes me uneasy for its evocation of the Nazgûl. The 9 are slain, destroyed alongside Sauron, and few could rival them in malice or power. But we should tread carefully near any reminder of them. I understand that Eorzen the Wily refused my offer to place in Gondor, and has been haunting the pass of Cirith Ungol just inside the Black Gate. See what he makes of the information you've learned, Pinebeer, and follow that knowledge where it leads. Oh, fun. Oh, really fun. Here's quite a gathering. Harthaline, Otley Spiderbane, and, of course, Eorzen.
I saw Yardafal ride away, muttering curses to himself. Amusing.
I take it that Gondor didn't surrender to his master? I never liked him, or any of Dulgabeth's knights. Well, what do you know about Ugrkor and of the Gurzil? I know enough. Ugrkor and Dulgabeth hate each other. If they spent less time quarreling between themselves and more time opposing Gondor, the war might have gone differently. They say that once, long ago, Ugrkor plotted to ambush and murder Dulgabeth and placed the blame on Gondor. Sauron learned of it before the plan could be executed, and he fed all of Ugrkor's servants to the fire. When he was the only one left, Sauron held him to the flames. The pain was to serve both as punishment and as reminder not to plot against Sauron's chosen servant. It left Ugrkor scarred and twisted, and the outside as already he was on the inside. How do I know this? To this day, Ugarkor still speaks of it. While Sauron lived, the captain of the pit knew not to move against Dulgabeth. But now Sauron is gone. It cannot be long now before his simmering revenge comes to a boil, and one of them will die at the hands of the other. As for the Gyrzel, I know the name, but nothing more. Why don't you ask your wizard? Well, what do you say, Mithrandir?
I leave the choice of path to you, my friend.
I have finished speaking of the Gyrzel to Harthelin, as a Yorzen well knows. I will not repeat myself for the amusement of one such as he, Pinevere. Speak with Harthelin to learn what we know of them, which is admittedly quite little. I have the choice of paths for you. Learning of Ugarkor and Kirith Ungol, I will take you to Lingris. This dwarf Otley has designs on exploring Lingris, and he will accompany you there. You mean Otley Spiderbane? Yeah, I wonder why he wants to go there. I believe exploration of the Gyrzel will require exploring the south of Orodruin in Talos Aruri. Harthelin wishes to go there and will accompany you thither. Follow both of these leads to their ends, and we will be well equipped to deal with Dulgabeth. Well, all right. Well, what do you say, Otley?
I understand you have business in Lingris. I do as well.
Yes, we've met before. You have a familiar face, but it is hard to say for certain. Now, if you were a spider, I would remember every detail and count the days until I could clear you from the face of Middle Earth. I believe my days will soon be over, but I have experienced a resurgence of health and vigor, Pinevere. I heard that the land of Mordor was opened and the Dark Lord defeated, and this means little to me. But when news came to me of a valley in the shadow of Mordor, fence that has been crawling with spiders, I found no choice but to take notice. I understand that you have a business at Lingris. I do as well, for I must introduce the crawling terrors of the Valley of Webs to the axe of Otley Spiderbane. I will not waste the renewed vigor in the twilight years staying at home. To adventure, Pinevere! Let us enter into Lingris, either from the fortress of Durthang or the other passes, and we will see what awaits us there. All right. And what about you, Harthelin?
We do not know very much about the Gorjul.
Yes, Mithrandir spoke at length to me about the Gurjul, but much of what he had to say was speculation. We do not know much about them. They seem to have the Black Numenorians that swore to Sir Sauron during the latter years of the Second Age, before the last alliance of elves and men besieged Barad-dûr. Many were the cruel men who sought to serve the Dark Lord in those days, but few only won his favor. Mithrandir would not say how he came to know this, but he believes Sauron bled his favorites with the edge of Guthok, his prized Morgul knife. They need no longer fear the passage of time, for by this act they were made deathless. They are like the Nazgûl, but lesser power, and unlike those raids, they can be slain. There will be no returning from death for such as they. I understand you wish to add to our store of knowledge concerning the Gyrzel? I will travel with you to Talatharuri. Let us first find the settlements of TitanBar. Reports indicate of a lawless settlement on the southern slopes of Orodruin. Oh, fun. For now, I'll be heading into Lingris. But before that, I need to return to the Stout Axes, which is where you'll find me in the next episode of Piney Plays a Stout Minstrel.